I'm Reginald Bowman, and I'm the president of the Citywide Council of Presidents of the New York City Housing Authority. I represent more than 1 million people that live in public housing in New York, and this is the Vote for New Hope Power in Public Housing statement that we're making to support Barack Obama in his historic run for the presidency of the United States. We're out here today to remind everybody in public housing that this is the deal. In order for Barack Obama to get elected, he needs all the votes of the people in public housing. That means that all of us that live in public housing communities in the city of New York and in the nation need to go out to the polls on Tuesday, tomorrow, and vote in the general election. In order for us to win this election and to get into the White House and to have our voices heard, we have to make sure that we go out and vote. In order for him to win, he needs the votes of our people in the public housing community. It was reported today in the New York Times that the Democratic Party never wins elections without having the complete 100% support of the people that live in our community. So we know what time it is. It is time for us to get out there and let our voices be heard. Some of us feel like our votes don't count, but believe me, this time it is very important for us to put that to the side and to get up tomorrow morning and make sure that we get to those polls and go out and vote in the election for Barack Obama for president. Let's make sure that the sound that they hear tomorrow is thousands of our feet coming down the stairs of the hallways of the public housing community, and blow the bugle, y'all, for all of our brothers and sisters around the city and around the nation that live in the public housing complexes, to make sure that we get down to those polls and pull the lever and cast our votes for Barack Obama for president. Now, I'm here today with Charles Fisher, and he's going to deliver more of the message of why it's important for us to use the power that we have in public housing to decide who the next president of the United States is going to be. Mr. Charles Fisher.
Personally, Charles Fisher, I'm here today to endorse Barack Obama because it's time for change. It's time for us to stand up for causes in regards to health care, energy, education, new issues. We've had 8 years of Bush. We don't need 8 years of McCain. Y'all done heard the speech over and over again. I'm just reemphasizing what Mr. Bowman is saying here. Public housing is an important aspect of this entire movement. It's time for public housing to step up to the plate. We've been working with the Power in Public Housing Campaign and the Vote for New Hope Project in an effort to get people in public housing to realize how much power they got. Your vote counts. It's important for you to get up tomorrow, get out of bed. It's important for you to ring the bell of your neighbor, your friend, to let everybody know that this is an historic election. This is an opportunity for us to make a change and make a difference and make history. All right, so do not sleep tomorrow. Do not buy into the whole Barack has won already. I don't have to go to the polls. Don't be discouraged if they don't have your name. When you go to the booth, you know, do not be afraid to wait on a long line, because there's going to be a whole lot of drama tomorrow to discourage you from going to the polls, and when you get there, to turn you away. Remember, we're here to make history. It's all about getting Barack Obama into office. I'm going to turn this over to Armando.
Thank you, Charles, and thank you, Reggie. On behalf of Power in Public Housing and on behalf of everything that we hold dear, we're at a very critical time in our life where change is imminent. And without this change that we all ask for, change in our educational system, change in our living conditions, change in society, we're always talking about, I want to change this, I want to change that. So we don't have an option. And if we want to succeed and if we want to have a brighter future for our youth, for our children, for everybody that we live with, a brighter future for the entire world, we only have one option, and that option is about change. And there's only one man that truly advocates and endorses change, and that's Senator Barack Obama. You know, for many years, over 10, 15, 20 years, while he was in Harvard, while he was in his educational process, everything he did was about change. It's not a person that stepped up to the plate yesterday and said, I want to change the world. It's not something that happened over a couple of years. It's a lifelong commitment that he has endorsed and advocated. So it's our job that we can't sit back and feel that change is going to happen by itself, and we can't be confident to think that he will be elected because of what we hear and what we see in the polls. The polls are misleading sometimes, so our job is not to be confident. Go out there, visit BarackObama.com and realize where we can go and vote, make this stuff happen, make the change, because this is the change that we always look for, we always ask for. Now is our chance to go ahead and make it happen. So, you know, on behalf of Power in Public Housing, on behalf of Barack Obama, on behalf of Hip Hop Summit Youth Council, and on behalf of a lot of companies that are helping out and facilitating this movement, you know, I want to say, go out there, make this movement happen, make that vote count, and don't leave it to the next person. That way you can't say in the future that you didn't make a strong stride in trying to change history. And along with that, you know, there's a lot of other consequences that we will be able to reap the benefits of when this change occurs. I want to go ahead and introduce a very important gentleman who is also facilitating the entire housing industry with a beautiful plan that he has, and he wants to say a few words. Jerry Kalange from Collinex.
My name is Jerry Clifford Kalange from Collinex, the Total Rental Solution Company, and we need change right now. These times right now are very crucial. There's a lot of problems, and we need changes. And you got to understand, there's 1 million people in public housing right now. So you guys have powers in numbers, but if you don't stop and get out and vote, no change is going to happen. Changes happen from the bottom up. You heard a great man who talk about it every day in his campaign, but it really happens from the bottom up. So you got to get out there and make a change and vote. So tomorrow, please, I urge you, vote.
It is time for us to understand that the future of our community is in the hands of those who understand how important it is to go out and use what's in your hand to make a difference. Years ago, many people sacrificed their lives so that we could be a part of the democratic process and use the simple thing called casting a ballot to influence what goes on in our everyday community. This is our opportunity to make that change happen. So let's join forces and take the future into our hands and take change in our hands tomorrow and get everybody in the public housing community to go out and vote for New Hope, because we know that there's power in public housing. And let's elect a new president, and also let's empower ourselves and our children for the future of all of our community. This is Reginald Bowman speaking for the Vote for New Hope Power in Public Housing Coalition and the Council of Presidents of the New York City Housing Authority, and for the hundreds of thousands of people that I represent in public housing, reminding you again that use what's in your hand, vote for New Hope, get out and vote.